Okay, so this is a score by Penderecki, and it's called Quartetto. It's a contemporary score with a number of contemporary notations in it, and I'll just show you a little bit about how to do that. So I'm going to switch across to Sibelius, and I'll show you how to set up the score first of all. Looking at the original, you can see that in these bars we only really have one crotchet looking note, and we want to mark off each bar in single seconds. So it makes sense if we go back to Sibelius to set the time signature here to 1/4. For the purposes of just showing you how to make the staves look as I have done here, I'm going to just bring in a new line. So if we go to Home, add an instrument, and if you were setting this score up from the start, you would probably go in and choose violin 1, violin 2, viola, and cello or double bass. So if I just add in violin 1, so you can see how it would look. So how do we get it to look like this one? And the way that I've done it is to change the instrument. So search for no instrument with bar lines shown, and add that in. So you can see now you get the blank, which is what we want, and then drag the manuscript 5-line stave, if you like, up to there. You want to hide this to look like the original score, because you can see on the original score this is all nice and clean. So if we hide this, it will not come out in the print. And then to get rid of the clef, if we go into that's notations, clef, and go blank clef. So now we've got rid of our clef from here, it's here. So if we highlight it and just drag it along to where we want it, which is along here, then we have that nicely where it should be. Now for the dotted line, all we have to do is to go into lines, find a dashed line, move it down to where we think it looks right, and extend it along. We can choose our spacing by playing around with that. And we can see here that we need lines, which is just a case of choosing vertical lines from your line menu. I have used a thin one and a thick one so that we can make it look like the original scores. So we would need to pull this up like this. Down. Okay, so that gives you the idea about how to do the score setup. I'm going to delete the stave because this is obviously not needed in this score. So once you've done your score setup, as we were previously talking about, it's quite easy to then enter the notes as we see in the original score. Then just put in the gliss lines. So if we put in another one here, you can see on the original score over here that these have no text on them, so they don't have the word gliss, whereas usually the Sibelius one does. But if you choose a gliss with no text, now I actually had to make this, and how you do that is you just go into the lines, go into a new style, then you can or you can use a new style based on the gliss. Let's just do it. And so this has censored text, just take the text out. So now you can see the text disappears, and you can save it as, we'll just call that Glissando thick, no text. So we'll now have a line with no text that we can use. And once you have that, my mouse is playing up. Let's take this out. You can just angle it as you would like. And then just move it along. Try and make this look like the original. So this one's sort of halfway across the bar. Oops, and these go something like that. Okay, and you complete these other ones the same. Okay, so this part of the video deals with the sub ponticello. We can see on the original score over here that this is quite a challenging notation. To set up the score, you can see those staves are all there this time, unlike above when we had some blanks at the start. So these are just the normal string quartet instruments with the names deleted at the front. And then to set up these parts of the stave, do as we did up in the first part. If you go in and insert a no instrument, and then you should get this line through the middle, but with the rest hidden. If they aren't hidden, just hide them. It doesn't matter how you bring it in, as long as you land up with something that looks like that. So this time the score looks as though it's in crotchets, or sorry, quavers. We don't have any semi-quavers. But really they look more like crotchets than anything else, with the sort of beaming manipulated sort of go across the top of them. And how I've done this in the score is to set the score at 8/4 so that the notes can be grouped sort of roughly the same as over here. We can play around with the spacing a little bit. We can sort of drag them in to try and make the score look like the original. That one doesn't want to go. So we can do that. And just to show you how I managed to do them, you can see down the score here, there's 2 more to go in. So we just choose our crotchets and one in there. Okay. And to get the slur in, you can either copy from a slur anywhere else in the score actually. So to move it, you can grab the handle in the centre and move it over, and then you can shape it by pulling the handles and making it look neat. Okay, that looks pretty good. Then to complete the score, all you need to do is to select a thick black line to use for the beaming of the sub ponticello notes, and to match this to the original. So all you do is select from the line menu, and if there isn't a sufficiently thick one there, then you can make one, as I've already shown you how to do. Make sure the magnetic layout is off, so that you can draw the line on top of the notes properly without having a gap. And the glissando lines are very straightforward. I've already shown you how to do that in the early part of the video.